Okay, I am going to tell a ghost story called Midnight Knocks.
This is true.
It all started just before my mother passing in March 2009. My dad and I were always familiar with the different paranormal phenomena happenings in just about every house we lived in. In particular, what happened was my dad and had heard knocks on the front door late at night, around midnight or 1 o'clock. My dad continued on his investigations to catch or find out what was going on in our home. He took our digital camera and went around the house taking pictures of the different rooms. When he got to the top of the steps to our family room downstairs, he caught a childlike figure standing by her couch. It looked like a young girl from the 1860s era. She was skinny and we couldn't make out her bonnet and her female figure, but the house we lived in was built between the 1960s and 70s. I'm not sure though. So without my dad's further investigation, we had found out that something knocks on our door. There is no one, or you know for a fact that no one is. There is it unusually means that a spirit or a ghost is knocking to come into our home. And to come into your home. If you open that door, you are inviting it in, which is sort of scary to know we may have more than one spirit in our home. In the different homes we lived in the past 6 years, we have seen a dark fogs coming from the closets, voices of children, and the doors opening by themselves.
Alright, my turn.
And that was my story, everybody. Now it's time for my friend's story.
My turn. Okay, I'm gonna read Death of a Fairy. This was by Althea Crow. True. Go down. Scroll down. Oh snap. I swear it is true. I witnessed the death of a fairy in August of 1969. We were living in the town of Dibbling, Texas. I was 16 years old at the time, and my brothers and sisters and I were working in this huge lot where the house used to be. We were all clearing all the weeds and garbage. This lot had an old wooden fence that bordered the whole area. It was noon, and under the shade of the only tree in the lot, we took our lunch break. I was sitting with my back against the tree eating my sandwich, and when suddenly something jumped through an opening in the fence down at the other end. It ran toward the center of the lot. At first I thought it was a rabbit, but on a second glance it was a small person around 1 foot tall. I'm not kidding. It had arms, legs, and a head that was wearing some kind of helmet. It was smiling as it ran. Unfortunately, in this town there were lots of stray dogs, and there were 4 big dogs sleeping in the middle of the lot that woke up immediately as soon as the little figure came through the fence. Just like that, they started chasing the strange creature all around the lot. The poor thing was zigzagging, trying to keep a lead on the dogs, which it was. This little guy was fast. Its legs were a blur. All of us were thinking the same thing at this time. We were hoping it would get away. All it had to do was head back towards the opening where it first came through, because the dogs were way too big for that opening. Then this thing, this fairy, is still smiling, turned around and started heading back towards the part of the fence. I was thinking, alright, it's gonna make it. As it got closer, it made a leap toward the opening, but its aim was slightly off and it hit the fence, which knocked it unconscious because it just fell to the ground. The dogs cut up and tore it to pieces. My oldest brother threw rocks at the dogs, but that didn't do anything. It was too late. The dogs were eating it. Each dog took a piece. One of them trotted by us with the smiling head of the creature sticking out of its mouth. My poor sisters were traumatized. My brothers tried to make that dog drop that piece, but the dog in one big gulp swallowed it. I'll never forget it, and this really happened, I swear.
And that was our stories. I hope you liked them. Alright, bye folks.